The non-nutritive sweetener, or NNS system, is the sweetener used for no-calorie beverages like Diet Coke and Coke Zero. The NNS system is located inside the lower cabinet and is made up of several components that move non-nutritive sweetener from the 2.5-gallon bag-in-box, or BIB, up to the nozzle. These components include the NNS lever assembly, which connects the NNS BIB to the valve plunger assembly. The valve plunger assembly delivers fluid from the NNS BIB to the bubble detect sensor. The bubble detect senses air or sold-out conditions. If a box empties or air gets into the system and the appropriate amount of sweetener cannot be pumped to the nozzle, the bubble detect sensor will cause all diet drinks to go into a sold-out mode. This assures the Coca-Cola Freestyle will consistently deliver a good quality drink. This is the manifold assembly, which delivers fluid from the bubble detect sensor to the QPM or quad product module. Lastly, there is the NNS QPM. It works much like the 9 other QPMs in the dispenser. However, the NNS QPM is unique and can only be used in the NNS position. The first step is to open the upper and lower doors and turn the power to the dispenser off. To do this, perform the secret handshake as described in the introduction. The lower door will pop open. Manually open the upper door. Locate the power switch and turn it off. Look inside the lower cabinet where the 2.5-gallon NNS BIB is located. This BIB must come out first. First, unlock this white collar by turning it counterclockwise. Remove the NNS package and set it aside. The next step is to remove the NNS drawer. There is one Phillips head screw on each side of the drawer. Unscrew these to allow the NNS drawer to slide out. Pull the drawer carefully because sometimes when removing the NNS drawer, the tubing bundle or the electrical harness can catch in the back end of the lower cabinet. If the harness does get stuck, pull out drawer number 3 above the NNS drawer. This will allow access behind the NNS drawer to loosen the harness and allow the drawer to slide out easily without causing damage to the harness. Now, remove the locking collar. There is a tab on the back of the locking collar. Press the tab in, turn the collar clockwise and remove it. Next, take the NNS drawer and turn it over to access the components underneath. It's very important when doing this to remember which way the drawer is turned. Once the drawer is ready to reinstall, it must be turned back to the initial position. This ensures that the cables line up properly as the drawer slides back into the dispenser. Remove the one screw that holds the NNS manifold in place. Then remove the 3 screws to release the bubble detect sensor from the valve plunger assembly. Put the screws in a safe place. They are small and easy to drop. Next, remove the NNS QPM. There is a metal bracket which holds the QPM in place. On the side of the drawer, undo and loosen the bracket and fold it up. This allows the QPM to be lifted out. The assembly that contains the 4 tubes going to the NNS QPM is called the NNS manifold. To remove the manifold from the QPM, simply turn the locking mechanisms counterclockwise. They release the manifold easily. Flip the NNS QPM over to reveal the 2 electrical connections. Here is the harness that brings power and the CAN signal to the QPM. This is similar to the micro-ingredient QPMs covered in another chapter of this training. Loosen this locking collar and it releases easily. The second connection goes to the bubble detect sensor. Just like the main power harness, it turns and pulls straight out. The NNS QPM is removed just like the other QPMs in the system. This lever pulls up and the NNS QPM lifts out. There may be some liquid dripping, so have a paper towel nearby to wipe up any spill. In review, the components which make up the NNS drawer and the NNS system are the NNS lever assembly, the valve plunger assembly, the NNS manifold, the bubble detect sensor, and the NNS quad product module. Before reassembly, wipe up any NNS that may have spilled. When the NNS dries, it creates a white powdery stain. The first step in the reassembly process is to attach the yellow handle hydraulic connection to the QPM. 2 guideposts line up with the 2 holes. Insert the connection and turn the handle down. Next step is to reconnect the 2 electrical connections, the main power supply and the bubble detect sensor. Press the power supply cable into place gently and turn the locking collar to the right. Reattach the bubble detect sensor. The key here guarantees the connector attaches only one way. Make sure these connections are tight. Reinstall the NNS manifold. Slide the 4 tubes into the QPM using the key as a guide. Then turn the white tabs to the right to secure each of the 4 manifold hoses. Turn the QPM over and slide it into place. Push the bracket down across the QPM and lock it into place. Attach the manifold to the bubble detect sensor and secure the manifold in place with this screw. Now secure the bubble detect sensor with the 3 small screws. While holding the sensor and screws in place, flip the NNS drawer over. You can see the 3 screws and how the valve plunger assembly fits right over each of them. Tighten all 3 screws into the base of the plunger. All the components of the NNS drawer are back together except the locking collar. That will be put in place when the NNS drawer is installed. Before reinstalling the drawer, all the tubing must be properly tucked into the guides or channels designed to hold the tubing bundles. As we said earlier, since we turned the drawer this way when we removed it, we will need to turn it back the same way to install it. When putting the drawer back in, it's important to slide all the harnessing and the tubing harness back along the right side and tuck them down behind this lip. Pick up the drawer, guiding those harnesses up the backside, and slide the drawer into place. This process helps ensure the drawer will slide out easily next time. Next, put the locking collar back on. Take the back of the locking collar, push in this piece, slide the collar on, and turn it clockwise to lock it in place. Please note this hinge pin, which holds the NNS door in place. Check that the hinge pin is flush with the side of the NNS drawer. This will ensure that the drawer will fit properly back into place. Reinstall the 2 screws which hold the NNS drawer in place. Lastly, put the 2.5-gallon BIB back in place and lock it in with this white lever. Close the NNS door. Switch the power to the dispenser on. Leave the lower door open so the components will be recognized by the computer in the dispenser. When an NNS QPM has been replaced, an NNS code must be entered into the cartridge and package replacement screen. From either crew mode or as a technician, use the drop-down menu to reveal the package cartridge replacement screen. Select NNS, enter the NNS code that is printed on the NNS box, and press Enter. Return to consumer mode and pour several diet drinks. Make sure the taste is correct and the NNS subsystem and NNS quad product module are operating properly. If the dispenser is operating properly, the Coca-Cola Freestyle is ready to be placed back into service. If it is not pouring good quality no or low-calorie drinks, you will need to refer to the troubleshooting section.